Months after Nigeria's general elections, the results are still being disputed in court by several political parties and their contenders. Most notable are petitions by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar at the Election Petitions Tribunal. Senegal held its presidential elections on February 24, 2019, just a day after Nigeria's presidential polls. The East African country has long moved on, with various aggrieved contenders choosing to put aside their differences and work with the government in power. South Africa also held elections recently. Though contentious, the various winners and losers have agreed to move on. However, the disputes following Nigeria's elections have continued. Why are Nigerian elections so contentious? What is responsible for the rift between the political parties?
You live in Senegal, you're Gambian, and could you give us a bit of a comparison between the Nigerian elections and the Senegalese elections? Because you guys have moved on, but we're still reeling from the aftermath of our elections.
Senegal, I think, have moved on based on the interest, the common interest that the players have. They put the country first. Because I think there have been contentious between the politicians, between the opposition, and then the ruling party, Macky Sall's party. But eventually, when the results were announced, they have to have a lot of dialogue, a lot of discussions. And then the opposition had to let go, because when they realized that there could be no way out in terms of changing the results, though they felt that the results, the elections was not fair. But at the end of the day, they know that their influence will not be able to change things. And then, in fact, they don't want to go into push and pull or creating conflicts. So they felt that Senegal need the interest of Senegal, the peace of Senegal, should be put in the forefront than their personal political agenda or personal political reasons. That's what I got, the information that I got from the analysis from the different players.
Okay.
And compared to Nigeria, I think the population-wise plays its role. The dynamics of the Nigerian politics also played its role. And then the fact that the media have blown some of the opposition leaders to be potential winners before the election in itself have played a critical role in my analysis.
That's really interesting. I think this is the first time that I'm hearing that, and it's amazing because it's coming from someone who's outside of this country. You were just telling me that you've been watching Rootstv all the way from Senegal. So you believe the Nigerian media in some way have created this impression that there is a possibility that the elections weren't exactly as fair, so maybe giving some, would I say, onus and impetus to the opposition to go seek redress in courts.
Yeah, you will not, maybe I can tell you for free that Nigeria is a leader on the continent in different aspects, and even in media. A lot of people watch Nigerian stuff on media. So whatever is happening in Nigeria, people are interested because Nigeria is offering a lot of different things, that entertainment stuff that Africa needs or the world needs. So a lot of people will be watching those things alongside being interested in the politics of Nigeria.
How is all of our contentious issues, especially the fact that months after our elections we're still going to court, we have politicians who who believe that things haven't been done fairly. How do all this impact on other African countries? I mean, give us your basic example, starting from your country, Gambia, and then Senegal that you live in, that's pretty close to us. How is that affecting other African countries? Because we barely think about other people and how they feel and how they see us when all of these happen.
Yeah, I think one thing that I will say about Nigeria is Nigeria, in itself is a leader in the continent in terms of democracy. Nigeria have been having successful elections and transfer of power for quite long, so they have inspired a lot of countries in that terrain of respecting democracy. The fairness of governance system in Nigeria is questionable. The aspect of corruption is questionable. Everyone is talking about it. But the fact that there is a peaceful transfer of power gives a lot of hope. And then the fact that we have seen an incumbent losing elections in the previous elections also gave a lot of courage and confidence, from the outside. But there is a whole issue around the fairness, that when you don't trust the election systems, you can go to redress, and which is encouraging. I think it's their right as oppositions to take the other further steps. And then I hope that the judiciary system will be very much fair and then address the issues fairly.
It's pretty interesting, these two things that you have brought up. I mean, earlier you said that, one of the reasons that the opposition in Senegal really kind of squashed their, would I say, reservations about the elections is because they put Senegal first and they wanted the country to move forward. And then in comparison to you saying, it's pretty interesting and it is encourageable that the opposition in Nigeria go to court. So marry both of it for us, because whoever we hear that would say, oh, do you think that the opposition in Nigeria, they didn't put Nigeria first? But then with you saying go to court as well, does that mean in Senegal they weren't bold enough to go to court?
Yeah, in Senegal, maybe they felt that when they go to court, it's going to be a waste of time. They will not really make any tangible impact, because maybe they don't have enough evidences, or they don't have enough things that they can back themselves in court. Maybe that's why they have to let go. In Nigeria's case, it's very clear that people have evidences. That's why they're able to go to court.
It is clear the judgments pronounced in the various petitions in court will set a precedent in Nigeria and indeed the African continent.